The end of September is nigh, and the question of the day is Bitcoin getting prepared? Is it preparing for a major, massive move to perhaps $90,000 price per Bitcoin in US dollars? I should add as well. It's going to be the topic of today. We have major monthly closures and quarterly closures as well, and I want to be revisiting one of the major September statistics that we have been looking at. In fact, a couple of them, kind of see where Bitcoin or the greater picture is at as of right now. So I do want to revisit this chart right over here. Again, this is just a chart of the monthly closures for September, and what we have noticed is that September was typically a more bearish month for Bitcoin, or more likely to close negatively. But in this case, it does look like Bitcoin is very likely to close a positive September, which has some major implications. First and foremost, I want to first revisit the September statistics for the average returns for those positive months, which on average has returned just over 7%. And in this case, we do have, I believe, something relatively similar to that as well. From open to current price would be about a 9.5% move almost. So again, playing within the realm of those statistics, as you can see. And what's more important here is that we're seeing that September is seemingly green as of right now. Now, it's a very long 17 hours, 31 minutes, and 22 seconds left and counting to go. But whenever Bitcoin is closed a green September, it has gone on to close a pretty big fourth quarter, basically throughout the rest of the year. So I want to bring you to these stats over here. We've spoken about them before, but I want to really dial them in today. And this is the September green analysis, basically, where anytime that we've seen, again, September close green, the fourth quarter to follow, typically very, very good, actually. Doesn't mean that every month of the fourth quarter is going to be good. I mean, there could be like a red October. Then, is that a movie, by the way, Red October? It sounds familiar. That's massive aside right there. And then, of course, you got November and December. But throughout the fourth quarter, it is typically a very, very positive time. We've only seen it happen 5 times in the history of Bitcoin, by the way, but all 5 times that we've seen a green September, it has gone on to produce, again, positive fourth quarter. Every fucking time, which, again, 5 times, out of 14 is like not a humongous sample size, but it is something. And anytime that you have 100% hit rate for something, I do think that is, maybe relevant to be paying attention to. But you make the decision for yourself. At the end of the day. Now, I do want to just present the stats as they are and then add some comments a little bit later. But the average return during this time, if September did close green, was 170%. Okay, that's a lot. That's, at least in my opinion, it's a lot. Some other like crypto bulls can be like, "What the fuck, man? You bearish, you bastard, unsubbed." Okay, fair enough. But I do think that there are some outliers within this data. You can see in 2013 and 2011 there were 400% plus moves. But if we do just take the data as it is, let's just play around with numbers here and see. Again, assuming that Bitcoin closed somewhere around its current price. Give or take a little bit, but 170% to the upside is like, it's literally off the charts. We can't even see the top of it. I think it'd be like around $180,000. Again, I do not think that that's going to be happening by end of year. That's just my personal opinion, but that would be it if we just took it at face value. Now, if we got rid of these outliers, this one and this one, namely, then that average return goes down to a very modest slightly over 51.5%, which still, to put things into perspective, by end of year is like quite massive in my opinion. By December, if we do see somewhere around the average, that would be about $90,000 price per Bitcoin in US dollars, not Venezuelan bolivars or fucking French francs or euros or whatever the fuck, but in dollars. And I think that would probably be, I don't know, maybe more reasonable. But yes, that is perhaps what we're looking at. We're very likely looking at a green fourth quarter, and we'll see how that evolves over time. Of course, we all know that October more likely to be a positive month. The average return for October's for Bitcoin's history has been just around 28.5%. Putting that into perspective, again, taking the current price and adding it on top of that, that would be somewhere around $80,000 basically. So, perhaps something to look out for. Again, assuming that there's not any sort of catastrophic, massive red dildo party before end of day here. Again, just over 17 hours left to go. So as long as Bitcoin closes above about $59,000, it will be green. Anyways, moving on from there, and let me get my notes back up over here because I somehow lost them, fucking bastards. I do want to go over into some of our other charts right here. One, we do have, or I did want to visualize just the fourth quarter as well. This chart right here just visualizes in the blue boxes the fourth quarter for, regardless of whether it's green or red. But I did want to also add that not only do we have a green September very likely in order, but we do have a halving year, and these red vertical bars correlate with the halving years. You can see that this was a positive fourth quarter. This was also a positive fourth quarter. And this was also a massively positive fourth fucking quarter. Crazy. Are we going to see the same thing over here? Maybe yes. Who knows? So yeah. Again, another perhaps point of interest there. Anyways, moving on from that, I want to get into our momentum chart right here. We can see that as of right now, Bitcoin is going to have a chance to do perhaps two major things. If it did both of these things, I mean, that would be, in my opinion, rather powerful. One, the monthly stochastic oscillator will have a chance, although it is not happening as of the current moment, to see momentum flip back up to the upside. The current pivot for monthly momentum is at 65,150. So if Bitcoin does close above there by the end of tonight, we will see it officially cross the upside. Even if Bitcoin does not close above that number, which is about $600 away from current price action by the end of the monthly tonight, I do think that the next month could theoretically open, or it will open, obviously, but that pivot for momentum could theoretically go down to the point where it would indicate that it's probably going to cross up, in October, but that would theoretically happen at the end of, at the end of October. So if it did happen before closure tonight, that would be a lot more obvious. Kind of helps, the case a little bit more. But yeah, and on top of that, Bitcoin is very likely to reclaim that red 5 exponential moving average right here as well, which is currently at 62,300 about. Now, I would be looking for Bitcoin to reconnect with it opening up in this next month of October, and we have not made any comment about short-term time frame price action as of right now, because Bitcoin could very easily have a decent pullback to open up this month, but that's likely an opportunity. The more and more things that we do reference right here. So just wanted to get all of that out there. Also reference the monthly HPDR, which on CME is reclaiming inside. I mean, it didn't really reclaim because it never really left the 38.2 level, but it is back healthily in the 38.2 level right here. If Bitcoin, or if price can essentially close somewhere around here, $65,000, I would be looking for the median, which is currently at about $78,000 on CME, as an area of interest for price action, not necessarily in the next month of October, but just in general on the monthly. That can take several months to play out, obviously. But just holding within this region would be quote unquote good. Another point of interest here for the monthly on spot price action would be that Bitcoin is actually not within the bottom side of the 38.2 level. You can see this actually ever so slightly below. Where is that 38.2 level coming in around? Well, it is officially at 65,500, which would also fulfill the monthly momentum pivot, I should add as well. And if Bitcoin did pop back above there by end of day today, again, just over 17 hours, this would be fairly obvious, although I shouldn't say these sort of direct things, but it would be greatly increasing the probability that Bitcoin is going to see a probably explosive fourth quarter. The blue range here, as I'll just kind of refer to it right now, is significantly larger than CME, with the top side all the way at about $165,000, which, funnily enough, does align with the most egregious of September statistics that we went over earlier. But again, the median here, at around $97,000, $98,000. Again, going to be an area of interest in the following quarter or two. I still remember with my overall ideas on this channel that I do think that we'll see the high in this market before the end of Q1 of 2025. I mean, shit, what if it even happened at the end of this year? That'd be crazy. But, it's going to take a little bit of patience, obviously. And again, I think that this chart right here kind of accurately summarizes the likely range for the fourth quarter, probably even into Q1 of 2025. Yeah, that's probably going to do it for today. As always, I want to wish you the best tomorrow, perhaps a live stream. We'll see how we're feeling on tomorrow. But yeah, I'll end things on that note. As always, I want to wish everyone the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully on October 1st.